Ever stared at your screen and thought, I can't do this anymore? You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're just burned out by a system that no longer makes sense. But here's the part that no one tells you. Working harder won't fix it. Because the problem isn't you, it's the outdated promise that hard work equals success. And that promise, it's officially broken. I remember over 10 years ago, I was there, completely drained, stuck on a job that paid the bills, but crushed my spirit. I spent hours on the road, commuting to work every day, constantly exhausted, and wondering if this was the success that I was supposed to feel. On paper, it looked fine, but in reality, I was miserable. And I'm not alone. Nearly 50% of workers today say they want to quit their job. But why? Are we just lazy or entitled, like some people claim? Or is there something deeper going on? In this video, I want to share 3 reasons why nobody wants to work anymore. And more importantly, 3 things that I did that helped me take back control of my life and my career. And trust me, if you feel stuck or burned out, you'll want to hear this. So, I was raised to believe that hard work pays off. So I over-delivered, I showed up early, stayed up late, and skipped those lunch breaks. And I thought to myself, if I just prove myself enough, someone will notice. And then I watched someone less qualified get promoted instead. I'm not gonna lie, that moment broke something in me. I remember sitting in my cubicle asking myself, why is this happening? What else do I have to do? Later, I came across a study that said that since 1979, workers' productivity has skyrocketed, but wages and career growth have barely budged. In other words, we're working harder, producing more, and yet getting less in return. We were sold a promise that if you work hard, stay loyal, and push yourself, you'll climb the ladder. But that ladder, it's been cut in half. You see, and replaced with a revolving door of favoritism, burnout, and layoffs. So when older generations complain that no one wants to work, what they really are remembering is a time when work actually paid off, when a single income could support a family, when staying late meant something real. Today, you could be the most competent, hardest worker in the room and still get passed over by someone with better connections, a louder voice, and someone with the right look. And that's not a lack of work ethic. That's a broken reward system. And the lie that we were told that if we just kept on grinding, our time will come. But for many of us, that time never comes unless we rewrite the rules ourselves. A CEO recently said that Gen Z should be willing to work for free. Let that sink in. Work for free. That mindset isn't just outdated, it's dangerous. And unfortunately, it's everywhere. The unspoken expectation that you should, quote unquote, pay your dues by sacrificing your mental health, time, and boundaries for the illusion of loyalty or advancement is outdated. A 2023 study found that 75% of workers have experienced a toxic workplace, and 87% said it negatively affects their mental health. That's not a fringe issue, that's the culture. And I lived it. I burned out so badly, I felt emotionally paralyzed. I sit at my desk, staring at a blinking cursor, making to-do lists that I never started. I just wasn't tired. I felt numb, disconnected, and empty. And the worst part, after all the years of hard work, I received a terrible year with a low rating. That removed me from receiving pay increases, bonuses, and potential promotions. That toxic work culture isn't always obvious. It's the constant, quote-unquote, be a team player pressure that says even when you're drowning, you gotta keep it up. It's the unspoken rule that you shouldn't take all your PTO because it, quote-unquote, looks bad. It's 6 p.m. It's a 6 p.m. text at night that you feel obligated to respond to just because it's the environment. We've internalized the idea that burnout is just part of being ambitious, that stress is a badge of honor. But the truth It's not brave to destroy yourself for a paycheck. It's not sustainable. And here's the kicker. Many companies bank on that fear. They know you won't push back. They know you won't ask for more. So when people say no one wants to work anymore, what they really mean is people are done being exploited in the name of professionalism. Yes, wages have technically gone up, but so has the cost of everything else. Student loans, childcare, healthcare, housing, groceries, even just existing feels more expensive. And here's the stat line that really hits hard. In 1985, a typical worker needed only just 30 weeks of income to cover major family expenses like housing, food, transportation. But in 2025, it takes 53 weeks. That's more than a full year's work. Let that sink in. Even if you work every single week of the year, you'd still come up short. So when people say nobody wants to work anymore, they're missing the point. They are working, they're just not getting ahead. The math simply doesn't work anymore. Decades ago, someone could graduate, get a job, buy a home, and support a family, and all on a single income. Today, you have to work full-time, have a degree, still be living paycheck to paycheck. And let's talk about student loans. A generation ago, college cost a few $1,000s a year. And now, it's not uncommon to graduate with $100,000 in debt and enter a job market that hasn't kept up. You're expected to pay back loans, afford rent, and somehow save for retirement. It's just not financially exhausting, it's emotionally exhausting. So no, it's not about people not wanting to work. It's about people not being able to afford it. Not emotionally, not financially. But when the system is designed to keep you running but not catching up, eventually you stop running. So what can you do? I've been there, burned out, stuck, and desperate for a way out. Here are 3 things that help me take back control that you can do too. Everything changes when you no longer depend on your next paycheck to survive. The first step, build an emergency fund. We saved 6 to 12 months of essential expenses. It gave us the breathing room to quit, pivot, or say no without fear. If $10,000 sound impossible, break it down. That's just $27 a day, one slice at a time. Cutting back can only get you so far. I used to think that budgeting was the answer to everything, but the truth, there's a limit to how much you can save, but there's no limit to how much you can earn. Eventually, I also built multiple income streams through side hustles that honestly wasn't easy, but it gave me options. It gave me flexibility. Burnout is real. If you're staying in your job longer to reach a financial goal, protect your mental health in the meantime. And how do you do that? Block out personal time like it's a meeting. Leave work on time and use your PTO. Stop volunteering for every new project. Speak up about the effort your work requires. Start updating your resume and network quietly. When you feel like you have choices, the stress starts to lift. And here's the truth. You don't hate working. You hate feeling overworked, underpaid, and unappreciated. You hate sacrificing your health, time, and sanity just to barely keep up. And you're not alone. So many of us were taught just to work hard, but not how to work smarter. What changed my life wasn't hitting a certain income. It was building financial flexibility that gave me breathing room to no toxic jobs, bad bosses, and burnout. It gave me the power to shift from working out of fear to working by choice. That's when everything changed. I wasn't chasing money. I was designing a life I was proud of. And that's what I want for you. So if you're tired of living a life in survival mode, and if you're ready to finally have options, confidence, and the peace of mind, click the link in the description below to apply for one-on-one financial coaching. Together, we'll build a personalized plan to get you out of a cycle and into a life that actually you can be happy about. And if you enjoyed this video, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our updates. Remember, your freedom doesn't start with a lottery ticket or a raise. It starts with choices. Let this be yours. And I'll see you in the next video.